Irene. Good morning, good morning. I see people coming in. So great to see you. How's everyone doing? Thumbs up, doing all right? Doing good? Okay, good, good, glad. Good morning, good morning. I think I see Nancy as well. Hi. Hi, Irene. Hope you're all doing well, staying healthy. It's starting to get warm. Great. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. It's always so nice to have this class with everyone on Friday. I feel like it's my personal treat and indulgence just to be able to see all your faces. So that's already a win for me. Hi, good morning. How are you? Doing good? Doing okay? Great, great, great. All right, so yeah, we'll let people get in. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. We're still, a bit early. So if you want today, just as you're getting settled in, feel free to have a cushion or something to sit on if you want, a blanket if you want that little support. Maybe there's like a thick book or a block or just some kind of cushion to help you just elevate your hips a little bit if you want. But otherwise, if you just want your mat or no mat at all, let's just do that, right? This is going to be your practice. So have whatever you need at hand, but also know that if this is really just what you need, then we are here for you, right? We, our community, we're here for each other. So yeah, this is going to be your class and your practice. It's starting to get warm. So if you need maybe keeping some water nearby as we move through, you're always welcome to do that. Good morning. Good morning. Starting to catch everyone as they come in. So like I was telling everyone, if you're just joining in, feel free to grab a blanket to have nearby or have a block or like a big, just hard book if you want that. I know some people might still have phone books, so that's also something you can keep on hand if you want to sit on that. Right, where some of us are really good about keeping things just in case we ever need them. So here's a use for them now. But yeah, if you're ready, you can also just find yourself in a nice seated position. We'll start off in a seated position today. So bring your gaze to a soft close, keeping your eyes closed or keeping them open, whatever you need to do to start your practice. Seeing some more faces come in. Good morning, Jan. Seeing some new names as well. Good morning, everyone. As you're joining, if you're all right, just give me a thumbs up. Love to see how you're doing. Excellent, excellent. Great to see everyone. And I think I see some new faces too. So I'm just going to say hi, Neil, Renee, Denise. Welcome to the class. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining. I don't know if it's your first time to yoga or if it's just a regular class for you now. But either way, all our movements in this class are all optional. So it's going to be up to you. So you take what you need, you adjust and modify as you need. And like I always like to, let everyone know here, let all the yogis know, if there's a move that's just causing some really sharp pain, let's back away from that, right? But if it's more of a deeper stretch, then maybe let that, feel it out, let that integrate into you. So safety first. And yeah, like I said, if you want to keep water nearby for this class, I know it's getting warm now, so feel free to do that. But otherwise, yeah, if you're getting ready to bring yourself into your practice, just come into a nice seated position. Maybe you want to sit on that phone book. Maybe you want to sit on a blanket or a cushion, whatever you need. So just let's bring ourselves into a seated position. Bring your eyes closed or soft gaze, and just start tuning into your breathing. Right, just breathe in through your nostril. Maybe take a couple exhales through the mouth, and then just use that to start checking into how everything's feeling for you. Starting to kind of take inventory, working your way from the top of the mind, what's keeping you busy this morning, or what are the thoughts that are in your brain. Maybe you have the opportunity to put them aside for just a little bit this morning while we bring it to you as we just make this time for you. Right, so just coming down through, how are the shoulders feeling? How's the back feeling? That reminds me, I slept a little bit funny a couple nights ago, so one of my shoulders is a little bit funky. So I'll make sure to let you know when it's just my limited mobility today. But otherwise, yeah, let's just keep checking on that inventory, right? Like, how's the chest feeling? Maybe if you pull the shoulders back a little bit, you open that collarbone. Maybe that's just a little bit more opening for you this morning. Checking in on the ribs, the belly, the hips. How are the legs feeling? How are the thighs feeling? How are the feet feeling? And then just taking a couple more breaths, just like this. Maybe start to bring it into your Ujjayi breath, right? So noticing as you inhale, that length that it takes for you to take a full breath in, filling the chest, filling the ribs, filling the belly. And then as you exhale it out, emptying the belly, emptying the ribs, emptying the chest. Notice that length that it takes to exhale. And then just as you tune in a little bit more to your breath, think about maybe leveling it out. So as you inhale, that's the same amount of breath you take as then when you exhale it out. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Yoga isn't about being perfect. It's about making this practice work for you, getting what you need from it. And so just a couple more breaths in at your own pace, with your own breath. Take an inhale, open the chest, open the ribs, open the belly, and then let it out. Empty the belly, empty the ribs, empty the chest. And welcome to those that just joined. Welcome, welcome. We're starting in a nice, comfortable seated position today. So if you want, grab a blanket, grab a block or thick book or whatever you want if that helps you get a nice seated position. Otherwise, if you're good just the way you are, let's just start with bringing your intention inwards. So either closing your eyes, inviting you into a nice soft gaze, and then just starting to pay attention to your breath, right? The breathing. We do that every day, pretty much necessarily 24 hours, but we don't always pay attention to how we're breathing, right? So maybe as you take this moment for yourself, your breath is informing you where it might be a little bit tight from this past week. Maybe where if you take a breath in, you can open some space and let some of that in. And then as you exhale, just releasing whatever, you can just let out of your body. So a couple more times. And then if you're good and you're ready, maybe gently drop that chin towards your chest. And ever so slowly start to move your neck from side to side. Just gentle warm up here, right? Noticing how this is feeling. Maybe one side of the neck is a little bit more open right now than the other side. Just notice how that feels. And then if this side to side motion feels all right for you, then maybe think about trying out a full rotation. Bring the head back, to the side, front, side, back. And then just doing this a few times, right? Checking in with yourself here. Noticing how things feel. Again, this is your practice. So it's all optional, all invited, all your own selection. And the next time your chin meets your chest, try rotating the opposite direction. Right, so notice how this side feels. Maybe you feel a little bit more, a little bit different than with the rotation on the other side. And then notice too, as you're moving too, and as you're noticing your breath, how does it feel when you inhale, exhale, as we start to warm up? And then when that feels all right, next time the chin meets the chest, just keeping it down for just one moment. Take an inhale and gently bring that head up to neutral. And then start to roll the shoulders back. Right, rolling it back, creating some openness here. Maybe the joints are starting to warm up. You're gonna start hearing them maybe a little bit as we move. And that's really the plan for this class, right? It's starting to warm up outside, so maybe it's starting to feel a little bit warmer inside too. So we wanted to stay flexible for ourselves. And then whenever this feels good and this feels enough, maybe you want to try rotating it forward. So bringing the shoulders forward. Maybe that's creating some openness in the back and the shoulders and the ribs. Right, remember to breathe, relax the jaw, relax your forehead. And then just notice how that feels. And if this feels warm, this feels good, let's inhale out the hands. And just start to squeeze, right? Try to flick the fingers out. And for those that either love or don't love the tapas, we're gonna take a break from that today. So Gentle just rotation, just warming up the arms. Right, warming up the arms. And let's just really shake it out, right? Just shake out the arms. Like, I already feel that just having a little bit more movement feels really, really good. Great. All right, so let's bring the hands down if that feels all right. And keeping our your left hand on the ground. So I'm probably going to try to mirror you. So your left hand on the ground. We inhale up our right arm. Reach for the ceiling. And for this one, just drape the right hand over to the left ear. So gentle side stretch here. We're going to use that hand to bring that ear or bring the head over to the right side. So really gentle stretch here on the neck. You're feeling it maybe come through the arms, coming down to your fingers. So your left fingers are grounded on the ground, just giving you that support and maybe giving you that extension just a little bit. Take a breath here, making space, noticing where it's a little bit tight. And then exhale and just let it deepen. Just keep it where that is. And taking one more breath here, same thing. Maybe the second time feels a little bit different. And then exhale that out. And then keeping your head where it is, let's bring your right hand over to meet your right ear and use that to gently support as you bring your head back to neutral. Bring your right hand back down to the side. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So let's inhale up the left arm. Reach, open up the ribs, extend. Bring the left hand over to the right ear and gently, right, ever so easily, bring your head over to your left side. So same thing, just noticing how this side feels. Maybe the stretch is, starting at the neck. You're feeling it through your upper arms, down to your forearms, your fingers on the ground. Right fingers are there to support you, give you that groundedness as you lengthen here. And then take a couple breaths. Right, breathe in, creating space somewhere. Maybe that feels a little bit tight. And then notice as you exhale, if you're able to deepen or maybe lengthen just a little bit more. Reminder, this is a warm-up, so there's nothing rigorous here right now. Another breath in. Maybe this time feels different. Exhale. And then keeping your head where it is, let's bring the left hand over to the left ear and gently use that to guide the head back to neutral. Hands down. Let's bring our arms in front of us. Just plant them where they land, right? Part of our warm-up. So just going back up a little bit, but just placing your hands where they fall this morning, right? Part of our warm-up sequence. Wherever they land, let's just keep it here. Let's relax the neck, drop our head down, and start to press our fingers onto the ground, but also energetically sending them away, right? So we're energetically pushing our arms so that we're lengthening. Gentle open here. Maybe you're able to feel it in your back and your shoulders as they open here just a little bit. All right, so relaxing the jaw. And maybe with your next inhale, maybe you're able to bring your fingers maybe, half an inch up, half an inch more forward if that feels okay. Or if it's not there yet, that's fine too, right? Just inhale, opening the back, opening the ribs, and exhale, maybe deepening that just a little bit. And then once more, inhale it up. Again, maybe the fingers can move just a little bit more, noticing a little bit of opening happening. Keeping your seat bones or your seat muscles grounded on the floor, right? That's helping you, giving you that support, that extension as well. And then exhale and just deepen. And so just how that feels. Relax the shoulders, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the neck. And then on your next inhale, bringing the hands over, walking the fingers over to your right side. Right, so gentle stretch, gentle opening here. Maybe you're noticing too with the left arm, there's a little bit of a stretch happening up in the triceps. Opening the shoulders. Take a breath in here. See if that helps open anything. right? And as you're there, in this motion, whenever you're ready, shift it back to the center. So walk your fingers to the center and then walk your fingers over to the other side. Same thing, gentle stretch here. And I'm just going to take a moment to say good morning to my mom. She's joining our class for the first time. So hi, Mom. But yeah, so welcome, Mom. Find yourself in a nice seated position. Everyone's just starting to warm up. So where your hands are, right? Your hands are over on your left side. So relaxing the neck, relaxing the head, keeping that gaze soft. Just notice what happens as you breathe in. Opening the shoulders, maybe opening the top ribs, feeling a little bit of space here. And then as you exhale, just bring it back to center. And then take a moment here and check in. How does this one feel now, right? Neck is still soft, gaze is still soft, relax the jaw. And notice if there's any open here, or if there's any opening here. Maybe this side feels, or maybe this time it feels a little bit more open. Maybe there's a little bit more awareness happening through the body. And then as you're ready, on your inhale, we're gonna press down our hands and come up to all fours. So shifting up to our knees. All fours here, I'm gonna tie this back. And then start to do some simple cat-cows, right? So as you're here, inhale, open up, exhale, curl it in, inhale. Just do this at your own pace with your own breath. Just do like 5 times, noticing how this feels. And then even if you need to open it up a little bit more, maybe you start to circle, right? Opening the core, starting with small circles, and then making them bigger. Noticing how that feels, just bringing it back out. Full. And if that feels good, just bringing the circles back in. And then we'll do it on the other side too, right? So starting small circles. And here, as you're starting to bring more awareness to the core, to the center, maybe you start to engage your core, right? So it's really about just keeping it supported. So as you move through, it helps you balance, gives you that stability. Just keeping it moving. And then if those big circles feel good, right, full extension, just full rotation. And then gradually use that to come back to small circles until you come back into neutral. And at neutral, let's just take a moment to sit back into child's pose. Coming here. You can always return to this pose whenever you need to, right? Resting pose here. And then if this feels okay, just turn your palms up, right? Keeping your head down, forehead on the mat, neck is relaxed. And your hands are turned up kind of like an offering, right? It's both an offering as well as your willingness to receive, right? Kind of like receiving what you need today. So take a couple breaths here. Notice how as you inhale, if that helps open the back, open the shoulders. As you exhale, are you able to deepen that just a little bit more? And then one more round of breath. Inhale, full breath, full belly. Exhale, empty the belly, empty the breath. And then start to turn your palms back down to the ground. And then whenever you're ready on that inhale, we'll shift up back to all fours. And this time too, checking to make sure your hands are below your shoulders, your knees are about hip width apart. And then let's inhale up our right hand. So making sure our left hand is planted on the ground for support. We inhale up the right arm. And then here we're just gonna thread it through that gap and just rest the right shoulder on the ground. Right, so gentle back, shoulder opening here. So your right shoulder's on the ground. Maybe your cheek is on the ground as well, or the side of your head. And that's just the opening there. And if that's okay, on your next inhale, let's bring it back up. So make sure your left hand is firmly planted on the ground as you bring your right hand back up. Counter stretch here. And then bring it down to the ground. And we'll do it on the same thing on the other side. So inhale up your left arm. And then as you exhale, let's bring it through that hole. And gentle rest. Opening up the back, opening up the shoulders. Just keeping it here for just a moment. Noticing the breath, noticing the back. And then whenever you're ready, coming back out of it. So making sure your right hand is planted on the ground as you come back up. Inhale up that left arm, extend it out, maybe open the chest. And then bringing that hand back down on the ground. Coming out into all fours. All right, so we're gonna work on some hip openings too, or just leg stretches, right? So first, let's extend out your right leg. Your toes are tucked. Right toes are tucked underneath. The left knee is on the ground on the mat to support you. So here, let's rock it forward and back first. Noticing how maybe that's helping to open up the calves a little bit, just stretching it out. Right, maybe there's bringing some awareness to the hamstrings. Engaging the core. Right, relaxing your jaw. And then just notice with each breath as you move, is it getting a little bit more flexible to shift forward and back? And if this is okay, coming back to neutral with the toes still on the floor. And this time on an inhale, we bring the right leg up. Right, this feels all right. Maybe we try to bend that knee. Knee to elbow. Extend it back. We look back, see the opposite leg. Knee to elbow. Extend it back, look across. So looking over your left shoulder, maybe you see your right leg or your right foot, right? So we'll do this, maybe do this 5 times, right, on your own. Keeping the core engaged. Just opening up the hips right now. Warming up the legs. Making sure our hands are planted on the ground to support us. And then when you're good, we'll extend it out once more. Let's rotate those ankles. Oh, I just heard mine crack. I don't know about yours. I don't know if you hear mine either. But then rotate on the other direction. And then gently bringing that foot back down and bringing that leg back down. So we do it on the second side as well, right? So just like we started, extending that left foot out first. I don't know if it's trying to make it easy. And then just shift forward and back, right? Opening the calves, stretching out the toes, filling the hamstrings or the glutes a little bit as you engage. So if you do this too, there's a little gentle inward rotation of your inner thigh. So as you keep moving through, I'm just going to show you what that means, right? So as you're pushing through, your inner thigh is just moving just a little bit in. And then this is, if this feels good, coming back to neutral and then lifting up that left leg, right? Extending that out, sending that left heel to the back wall behind you, engaging your core here. And if this is good, let's bend that knee to meet the elbow, extend it back and look at the shoulder across. Right, so bend the knee, tap the elbow if that feels good, then bring it back, opposite, looking over the opposite shoulder. So left leg is moving. And again, 5 times on your own. Right, gentle tap, just opening it here. Great job, everyone. And then when that feels good, extend that leg out once more. Give it a nice stretch. And then bring that knee back down. And this time too, let's sit back in child's pose. And if it feels good, so you can even open up the knees a little bit and see how this one feels now. Is the body feeling just a little bit warmer? A little bit more awareness circling through. On the next inhale, we'll shift up onto all fours, then shift onto our bellies, right? So if we need to walk back a little bit, Bringing bellies down, chest down, chin to the mat. Let's bring our hands behind us. Actually, let's clasp the hands behind us. Right, so where we are here, just gentle, gentle back opening here. So on an inhale, maybe just bring the chest or the chin off the ground. Notice that, how that feels. On an exhale, coming back down to the mat. On a second time, inhale it up once more. Maybe this time you're bringing a little bit of the chest off the mat. And then exhale, coming on down. And let's unclasp the hands and put the hands right next to our ribs. Right, moving into gentle cobra here. So planting the hands down on the ground. Let's inhale up just a little bit. Feet are on the ground still. Tops of the feet on the ground, legs on the ground. And then we exhale it down once more. We'll do this 2 more times, gentle cobra. And your inhale whenever you're ready. Coming up just a little bit. Opening the chest, opening the collarbone. Keeping your gaze maybe an inch forward from your mat. And then as you exhale, coming down. And one more time, inhale, cobra. Just noticing how the back is feeling, how it's opening. Maybe there's a little bit of awareness in the lower back. And then exhale, coming on down. So from here, let's bend the knees. Let's bring the hands back. Right, so we can clasp the hands behind us, or if we can touch our ankles, our feet, we can do that too. And then on your inhale, ever so gently, maybe again, bring up the chest, draw the shoulders back, maybe peel off just a little bit off the ground. And notice how this feels, right? Using your hands, whether you're on your feet or maybe just grabbing your thighs, your legs, wherever it feels good for you right now. And just gentle back opening stretch here. And then exhale, release, coming on down, bringing everything down back to the floor, back to the mat. And let's just move those hips side to side. Maybe there's a little bit nice release there. And let's plant our hands back next to our ribs. So this time here, we'll do 2 more cobras, right? At your own place. If you inhale it up, maybe you see that you're opening just a little bit more on this one. And then peeling back down, coming back down. We'll do it 1 more time. Right, so firmly placing the hands on the mat next to our ribs. As we inhale it up, maybe we're able to come up just a little bit more. And if we're not there yet, that's fine too. Right, so wherever you are, exhaling it, come back down. And this time, planting your hands underneath the shoulders so we can come back up. All fours, tuck in our toes, and come up for our first downward dog. Right, so maybe we adjust our stance just a little bit, bringing it wider or bringing it more narrow, whatever we need, and just start to bend the knee, bend one knee, then the other, and start to feel it out. Take a couple breaths, right, pedal the feet out. Energetically plant your hands on the ground as you're sending your hips up towards the ceiling. Energetically sending those heels towards the ground as you continue to send the hips up. And then just notice how that's lengthening. Right, lengthening the legs, lengthening the arms. And then on an inhale, shifting forward or gentle plank. If this is too much, you can always come down on your knees, wherever you are, right, your practice. So feel all right, coming up to plank. And then once more, shifting back to downward dog. Noticing how this one feels. And again, shifting up to plank, and we'll do this a couple more times, right? Noticing our arms, helping us balance, giving us that stability. And as you're shifting from downward dog to plank, engaging your core. right? Noticing having that stability there with you to help you move. And then finally coming back up to downward dog. From here, let's inhale up your right leg. So inhale that up here. And then let's bring it in to meet your chest or maybe meet your nose. Exhale, extending that back out. Inhale, coming back in. And again, also, if this is too much, again, invitation to drop the knee to make it easier or, to make it where you need it to be today. So extend that leg out. And once more, we'll draw it back into the chest. Extend it out. And this next one, as we bring it in, we're gonna step it through to be between our hands. And if we need to adjust it too, we can always bring our foot up, right? So it's not always the first landing that is appropriate. Sometimes we just need to adjust and need to modify. So I'm just gonna reposition myself so it's easier to see. And so hands are on either side of your right foot. Your back heel is up off the ground. And if you have a moment, just check on your knee to make sure it's stacked over your ankle, right? So it's not so much shifted forward. We don't want to do that, but rather have it stacked so it's supported. So this is okay. Relax the neck, keep your gaze on the ground, and then just notice too with your hips. If the right side is out too much, so for instance, if it's like jutting out this way, let's bring it in just a little bit so that it's even with the left side. So it's more just, straight alignment here, if that feels okay. And then keeping our weight on our feet, so making sure that's stable there. If that feels okay, let's inhale our arms to our sides. Keeping our core engaged to help us, right? Keeping your gaze on the ground. Neck is relaxed. Relax the jaw, relax the forehead. And if this is okay, we'll gently come up to a lunge. So let's inhale it up first. Arms coming up overhead. And if this is too much here, you're always welcome to come down on the knee if that's better for you. Another modification too is keeping your hands over that knee, right? So actually, yeah, let's bring the hands over the knee. So we have an opportunity to check on our stance. Again, it's just noticing that your knee is over that ankle and it's not hovering over past the ankle. Check on your hips, right? If one is too far forward, too far back, let's just bring them back to balance. And then notice with the back leg too, right? It's long, but it's not locked. There's no locking of the knee, right? We keep a very soft bend here, so it's supporting us too. So again, if this feels good, let's bring the arms up and keeping it there. I'm just gonna let someone into the room. So keeping your arms where they are and just take a couple breaths here. Just notice how this one feels. And if this is okay, then we open up to warrior two. So with the back heel, we pivot that down to the ground. I'm just gonna switch my stance. So you were here in your lunge and just pivot that back heel down and you open up those arms. So you're at warrior two. Your right knee is in front, bent. Let's bend that right elbow as well. Bring it over the knee. And then if this feels good, let's first put our hands on our hips. And this way too, it's grounded and we can help open up the shoulders, right? So just bring the top shoulder back. So that's what we're doing here. If this feels okay too, let's inhale up the arm, but the fingers are reaching for the ceiling. And again, just take a moment to notice here, if that back hip is jutting out, take a moment to just bring that back in. So it's lined up here. So that your hips are stacked. Remember to breathe. And if this feels all right, maybe try to extend that arm over parallel to your ear. And then this way, your fingertips are creating a nice straight line down to your legs. So take a breath here. And then as you're ready to come out, gently bring that hand back down. Let's bring it up to the hip. Bring the hands over. And then back up to warrior two. Let's straighten out that front leg. Check in with ourselves here. So notice our stance. Notice our shoulders first. If it's cropping up to our ears, let's draw them back down. Right, noticing our hips too. If one is too far back, too far forward. Just keep them stacked right on top of where we are. And this is going to position us to move into Trikonasana or triangle. So again, your forward knee is, or forward leg is straight, soft bend, right? No locking. And then as you inhale, let's stretch forward to reach the wall in front of you. You're going to start to feel a stretch here. And then as you're ready, let's bring the hand down to the shin. If that feels okay, bringing the top hand up back to the ceiling. And if this feels all right, maybe it's the bottom hand reaches the ankle. Right, so just opening here. Opening the chest, opening the sides, and really opening that inner thigh muscle that you're feeling as well. And then whenever you're ready to come out of it, so let's bring that top arm down to the hip, supporting us as we come back up. Gentle warrior two again. This time dropping the back arm, top of the leg. We inhale up, reverse warrior. And then as you're ready, coming down, so bringing both hands back to the ground. On either side of your right foot, we pivot off the back heel, plant our hands on the ground. If you then draw the right foot back into plank, and then lowering down into cobra. If that's what you want, your vinyasa. Inhale up to cobra, or maybe inhale up to upward dog. And then whenever you're ready, transitioning back to downward dog. It's a really nice job, everyone. Just take a moment here in your downward dog. Take a breath, take a couple breaths if you need to, if you want to. You can also come down into child's pose, right? Your practice, your call, your move, right? If we want to come down to child's pose for a moment, we can bring the knees down, bring the hips back. Just give ourselves a moment here. Right, so wherever you are, notice where you are in this practice right now. Guessing feeling a little bit more warm, hopefully feeling a little bit more awareness. And then wherever you are, I'm going to invite you to meet us back in downward dog. So if you're in child's pose, just shifting that back up, tucking in your toes, and then coming into downward dog. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Right, so downward dog here. We started with lifting our leg up, so this time it's going to be your left leg. Right, so where we did was we inhaled that knee in, exhale that leg back, inhale the knee in, exhale it back, and a couple more times. Start at your own pace. Right, inhale it in, exhale it here. And then, did we bend that knee and rotate the ankle? I think we did. And there's my other ankle just cracking along as well. And then whenever you're ready, let's inhale it through. Step your foot in between your hands. And feel that groundedness, right? So again, your back heel is off the ground. I think I need to switch sides. I think I did this side earlier. Switch sides. So again, just catching you where you are, right? So back heel is off the ground. Right knee, checking your right knee that it's your left knee above the ankle. And if this is okay, keeping your weight on your feet so you can gently bring your arms back. Right, keeping your gaze on the ground, neck is soft, jaws relaxed. Just hold it here if you can. Engage your core, using that for support. Noticing that hip too. If the outer hip is jutting out too much or jutting out at all, gently shift it over so that it lines up with the other hip. And if this is all right, we'll come on, inhale it up. High lunge here. And if we need to, let's place the hands on top of the knee, or on top of that thigh, just to check in and see if we need to modify our stance at all. Right, so knee on top of the ankle, back heel is off the ground, hips are lined up together, just stacking on top. And then as you're ready, bringing this arm back up, bringing the arms back up. So keeping it here, your core is engaged, just bring it in. And then whenever you're ready, open it up to warrior two. Right, so this is where, coming from the high lunge, you pivot your back heel onto the ground, then you just open up your arms. And let's bring the arms to our hips so we have a moment to check in with our stance. So my hip right here is jutting out too much. I'm just gonna bring it in just a little bit, right? Small movement. Check in that your heel is lined up. It could either be the arch or the heel of the other foot, whatever feels okay for you. And again, we don't want your knee to go past your elbow, your ankle, right? Just keeping it lined up here. If it's too much, maybe you back off of it, but you don't want it to go beyond your ankle. So that's good. Keeping the arms out. Check in with the shoulders. Let's bring them down away from the ears. And then whenever you're ready, bending the elbow, front elbow on top of that knee. First, let's bring the back hand, back arm onto the hips. This way we're able to check in on our shoulders, right? If we're hunched forward, let's bring it back. Let's open up the shoulders, open up the collarbone. And then when you're ready, let's inhale up the hand. Right fingers are reaching for the ceiling, opening up the side. And if this one feels okay, then bringing that over parallel to your ears. So you have a nice long stretch from your fingers all the way down to your hip and then down to the base of your feet. Taking a breath here. Again, noticing if your hip is popping out. Again, just bring it in just a little bit. And if this is all right, bending the top arm, bringing that hand back to the hip. That helps support us coming out of this pose. And then coming into warrior two. So backing off, so straightening the front leg here, preparing ourselves for triangle pose. You reach forward, right fingers are reaching, or I believe it's your left fingers are reaching to the front wall, dropping either to the shin, to the ankle, to the floor, wherever it's good for you right now. Keeping the top hand first at the hip to make sure, again, we have a chance to open up the shoulders or open up the collarbone. Right, opportunity for us to bring this back a little bit if it's too forward. And then let's inhale up the arms. Triangle pose here. Right, keeping your gaze maybe on the wall in front of you. Maybe you can bring the gaze up to the ceiling. Wherever it feels all right for you. Just take a breath. Breathe it in, notice where it's making space. Maybe it's opening the ribs. And then as you exhale, maybe you can deepen that just a little bit. And then whenever you're ready to come out, bending the top arm first, placing that hand on the hips. And then using that to gently bend the right knee forward. So come back into warrior two. Let's drop the back hand down to the thigh. Reverse warrior. So inhale up that arm. Just open up the ribs, open up the front ribs. And then coming out of it, cartwheeling the hands down, placing them on the mat to support us as we then come off the back heel, right? Placing our hands, plant our hands on the ground as we then support the transition of bringing that front leg to the back. First into plank. And if you want to move through your vinyasa with the chaturanga or just gentle knees, chest, chin, coming on down. Moving through up to cobra, or if you want, coming up to up dog, whatever is your practice. And then shifting to downward dog. So meeting you there. Right, downward dog, take a few breaths, relax the neck. Maybe let the head hang just a little bit. Planting the knuckles and the fingers on the ground as you energetically push it away from you. And if this is a lot for you, if you need a little bit more restorative, bring the knees down. And we come into child's pose, right? Easy. Whatever you need. In child's pose, taking a couple breaths, forehead on the mat, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the neck. Maybe deepening with each breath. So as you inhale, making space. As you exhale, maybe you notice a deepening. Maybe you're able to relax your hips just a little bit more if you're in child's pose. If you're in downward dog, maybe you're able to energetically bring the heels down just a little bit so you can lengthen your hamstrings, lengthen those quads. And then one more breath with your own pace. Taking an inhale, taking an exhale. And then wherever you are, let's bring it back up. Let's meet up in downward dog. So if you're in child's pose, just bring the hips off, bring the knees off the mat. Meeting us there. And then this time, let's actually bring the knees back down. We'll do one of our practices where we rest on our toes, or give a little bit of love to our toes that we don't normally do. So for those that are unfamiliar, I'm just going to show you right now. So we're going to do it 3 times. So your choice, however you want to come into it first. So first position or first option, we walk our hands back down. Your toes are still, your tops of the feet, toes are on the ground. We'll walk the hands back and just rest. Right, then we'll come out of it. And here's where you have an opportunity to modify too as you like. So inviting you to tuck in those toes. And then ever so gently too, this might feel foreign for some of you and for some of your toes and your feet. We'll walk it back like this, right? So we'll rest here. And again, if it's too painful, if it's too sharp, you're always welcome to come out of it. If you want to put a blanket or something underneath for some cushion, you're welcome to as well. Then we'll come out of it. And then we'll do it a 3rd time, right? Whichever modification, whichever option you want to do, that'll be the 3rd one. So for us starting on all 4s, right? If you want to bring in the feet just a little bit, maybe the knees touch, your option here. And if you want to grab a block or grab a blanket or whatnot, if you want to support you, let's take a moment to do that. If you want to just grab something to give you a little bit of support. And then when you're ready, coming into all 4s, right? Wherever you are, toes tucked in or feet on top, start to walk the hands back. Walk the hands back, placing them gently on the knees, on the thighs, and then just sit. Right, your shoulders on top of the hips, which are just stacked on top. And just take a couple breaths, noticing here, you could bring in the core if you want to engage that. And take a moment here to just feel this out. And then as you're ready, place some hands back on the ground, walking the hands forward, coming onto all 4s. And then we're going to tap out our feet. Right, just tap it out. Give it a little love here. Right, and then whenever you're ready, again, we'll do it the 2nd time. So whichever option, whichever modification you want to try this time, let's get ourselves ready for that. So if you want to do it with the feet tucked in, if you want to place a blanket between your thighs and your calves, you're welcome to do that too. So wherever you are, walking the hands back. Right, ever so gently, maybe placing them on the thighs, gently coming back. And again, wherever you are, bringing the gaze inward, maybe making it soft. And just notice where you are. If there's a little bit of tension and just built up in your shoulders, maybe take a moment to bring them down, gently bring them away from your ears, opening the collarbone. And then notice that with each inhale, that helps you make a little bit space, or if that helps relieve just a little bit. And then as you're ready, we're going to come off of it. Right, so bring our hands back to the mat, walking them forward, removing whatever prop you might have had, untucking those toes if you did. And we'll tap it again. Tap our feet on the floor, right, releasing that. All right, last round, yogi's choice. Right, so wherever you are, whenever you're ready, I'll meet you wherever you're ready to be met. Right, so walking the hands back, maybe placing them on the knees, maybe maybe on the thighs, as you then notice yourself. Bring the shoulders back, dropping them away from the ears. And then just ask yourself where you are, right? Being okay with where you are right now, that being where you need to be. Again, bringing the core, make sure there's not too much of a curve on your back, but letting you lengthen your spine to support you here. And again, we'll take 2 breaths with your own breath cycle to see where you are. Again, noticing if the jaw's tight, maybe release that, relax that. If the shoulders are creeping up towards the ears, again, maybe opening the collarbone, letting the shoulders drop, bring the shoulders back. Engaging the core maybe just a little bit. And then allowing yourself to maybe be in this. If it's a little bit uncomfortable, just being okay with that, right? You're safe, you're here, we're here together. And then whenever you're ready, let's bring the hands back down to the mat, calling it forward, placing them here, untucking the toes if they were tucked. And last time, tapping them out, giving that love. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to be shifting onto our sides. So let's first bring the hips down on the mat, keeping our hands there. And then as we transition down to our backs, right? So just shifting here, laying, curling yourself, releasing yourself down. Extend the legs out. Bringing the arms out. Actually, let's bring the arms overhead, right? Let's take a full body stretch here. So arms above our head. Inhale it out. Full breath in, filling the chest, filling the ribs, filling the belly. And then just exhale it out. And we'll do it one more time. Inhale, full body stretch. Exhale, and this time as you exhale, let's bring our arms to our sides. And so here we'll do a few leg lifts, but I'll give you some options, right? So you can either bend the knees and keep them here, and then you can just extend them out each time. So that's one option. If that's a little bit too much, you can always also just first start by planting your feet on the ground, knees bent, and then coming up on your elbows, right? So using your elbows for a little bit of support if that feels better for you. And then bringing the knees up, right? So this way too, when we extend, maybe that's a little bit better for you. Right, so these 2 options, wherever you are. So again, if you're starting at the bottom of your mat or if you're flat on the mat, whichever option you want to do. If you want to come up on your elbows, let's bend those knees first, plant the feet on the ground. Use that as support to come up on our elbows. And then we bring the knees up. Right, so we'll do this 5 times first with the legs together. So at your own pace, inhale, extend, exhale, coming up. And then for those with our elbows or on our elbows, just make sure too, or noticing here that your shoulders aren't scrouching at your knees, or sorry, your shoulders are away from your ears. Right, so extending, engaging the core. Just doing this a few times. Right, so let's do it for, let's say like, together 5, 4, you're doing great, 3, 2, it's there, 1, bring it back up. If you're on your elbows, maybe coming back down, hug the knees in, maybe sway side to side, give yourself a nice back massage here. And then we're going to do the bicycle. So same thing, but this time we'll alternate the knees, right? So we'll extend one leg out, bring it back in, extend the other knee out. So again, if you want to do this on your back, you can. If you want to incorporate your arms and your hands, so bring the hands at the base of your head, behind your neck to support it here. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. So let's do this a few times. Engaging the core here. And as well, this is too much too, right? You can always come back onto your elbows. So feet on the ground, elbows, and then just alternate your bicycle, right? Keeping core engaged as you then just work the knees and the legs, whatever feels good for you. So whatever variation you want to be in, whatever is working for you, let's do 10 together, right? 10, 9, 8, you got this. 7, relax your jaw, relax the forehead. Around 5, engage the core. 3, 2, almost there. 1, was it 3/4, half, a quarter, is it 1/8? All right, we're done. Really nice job. Coming back on the mat, letting the legs go, letting the arms splice the side. Take a nice breath. Let's bend and hug in the right knee. Left leg is extended still, just hug it in. Gentle spinal twist here. So this one, we're gonna extend the right arm out across from us on our side as we use our left hand to guide the left knee over to the left side. So gentle spinal twist. Your right shoulder is on the mat. Right arm is extended. You're looking out on your right side. And then just taking a breath here. It's warm. We've been moving. Whenever you're ready, coming back to neutral, coming back to center. So bringing that right knee back, extending the right leg down. Let's hug in the left knee. And same thing, right? Extending the left arm out to the side. Use the right hand to guide that left knee over for a nice spinal twist here. Left knee is over on the right side. Our gaze falls over to the left. So it's looking where our left arm is. Or in that direction at least. Your left shoulder is down on the mat. And then just take a breath here. Gentle spinal twist here. And then as you're ready, coming back to center. So bringing the left knee up. And actually, let's hug both knees in this time. Give ourselves a nice hug, curling it up maybe just a little bit. And then if there's anything else you feel like you need to do to make your practice complete, inviting you to do it now. Otherwise, you're welcome to find yourself in a nice transition into Savasana. So whatever you need. Any final movements, any final stretches. If you want to have, something to cover the eyes or additional support beneath your knees as you transition into Savasana, go ahead and get that. And then if you're ready, if you're in Savasana, we'll meet there together. Right, meeting there together first by relaxing the mind, relaxing the brain, relaxing the eyes, relaxing your cheeks, the jaw. Let's relax the chin as well. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Relax the top ribs, relax the lower back, relax your arms, the forearms, relax the elbows, relax your wrists, relax the hands, relax the fingers, relax your chest. Let the collarbones open up and just fall back. Relax the ribs. Relax the belly. Relax the hips. your thighs. Relax the knees, the calves, your shins. Relax the ankles, your feet, your toes. Relax. Ever so gently start to bring awareness back to the breath. Maybe you take a deeper inhale, letting the breath through. chest, maybe through the arms, allowing that to come back out. Take another breath, maybe another fuller breath. This time letting it flow through your entire body, wiggling the fingers, maybe squeezing the hands together, maybe starting to move the toes or pedal your feet. And then just letting that out. And then maybe for the next breath, taking a full body stretch here, right? Bring the arms out to your side, up overhead. Just letting the breath move through, up, down, side to side, wherever it really needs to move, right? Bringing that awareness back to you, back to where you are, where we are together. And then whenever you're ready, rolling over to one side. Right, so wherever you are, just taking a moment here. And then inviting you to, as a gentle way to come up, first putting your hands down on the ground to support you. As you then use your hands to then press yourself up. So hands in the elbows, and then gently walking back up, right? Using the hands to kind of walk yourself back up. So there's nothing jolting, there's nothing pulling you. And then wherever you are, finding yourself in a nice seated position again. Maybe that's with a blanket underneath, or maybe that's with a block, or maybe you don't even need any of that, right? It's just kind of where you are right now on your mat, eyes still closed perhaps, or maybe it's a soft gaze, right? So take a moment here in this posture, checking in, shoulders down, collarbone open, away from the ears. Maybe spine feels just a little bit longer, right? Maybe we're sitting just a little bit taller than we were when we first started our practice together. Take a nice inhale here, filling the chest, filling the ribs, filling the belly. And then exhale, emptying the belly, moving through to the ribs, the chest, coming back out. And one more time, same thing on your own. Take an inhale, filling full, filling the heart, and allowing that to exhale, gently, softly coming out. On the next inhale, I'm inviting you to open up the arms, bring them out to the sides, palms touch overhead. As you exhale gently, bring them down. Thumbs grazing the chest for just a moment here. And just seeing how this feels. Simply this. Doing it one more time. Let's inhale the arms up. Full breath in, palms to touch up overhead. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Thumbs grazing the chest once more. And then this time, inviting you to take a moment of gratitude. What are you grateful for? Or what do you have gratitude for? Right, that's for you. That's what you need and what makes you grateful. And then last one, doing it together. Take a breath, inhale, opening the arms up, and the palms up overhead, palms to touch. And then exhale it down. Thumbs grazing the chest. This time with the chin gently tilting down towards the chest. Full breath in. Nice breath out. And for me, my gratitude is having our community, having this opportunity to share in your practice. Our Friday mornings, it's our ritual, our Friday service together, whatever that might mean for you. So with that, may the light in me see the light in you. Please continue to stay healthy, stay well. It's getting warm, so just make sure to stay hydrated as well. These classes are all free. So this is, our community. But if you are so, willing, the studio is accepting donations. So got to make a plug and say, if you want to donate, we can do so. Venmo at Crenshaw Yoga and Dance. We also have PayPal, Crenshaw Yoga at Gmail. Otherwise, don't worry about it, right? Like this is us just making time for each other. And this is probably just so important for everything that's going on right now, right? So being here for each other, showing up for ourselves. This is our practice, and this is what yoga is. So with that, may the light in me see the light in you. Namaste. Have a really great weekend. And thanks for any newcomers that came. Great to see, our regular folks as well. This is such a great community. Honestly, I said it early in the class, but you all make my Fridays like just so much better just by being able to see all of you. So yeah, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you here next week as well. All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.